Community Conversations is a space that fosters conversation around topics important to us, with the purpose of creating an educational opportunity to teach, learn, work, and grow together. With your host, Ina.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Community Conversations, where we talk about topics that are important and close to us. My name is Ina. Today we're talking about collaboration and independence. Just before we start, I want to emphasize that we are in no way experts, except in our own lives, our own experience. So everything you hear on here in these conversations is our personal experiences and stories. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, like somewhere here, I don't know. And if you like our conversation, please share in all of your community, and comment below, and enough info chatting. Let's get into today's topics, which is collaboration and independence. So my first question to you is, how would you define collaboration and in the independence for you? Do Diva want to start?
Yes, I can start. Thank you. Well, collaboration is basically two or more people working together towards a task, like we do here on the A Song City project. And independence, well, it's the ability to take care of oneself, be an adult, do what you have to do to live. That's it.
I would say I don't think I would have anything different to add on to what Diva just said. Multiple people working together the way we are, through the lens of A Song of City and everything that we're doing here, and then getting what you need to, as an individual, sustain your own life, live your own life, do your own thing in all the different ways that you do it, and well said, Diva.
Alexis?
For me, collaboration is kind of the same, but like just coming together to, if you have a goal, right, you need to come together and work on it. And if you have the same interests. And independence to me is, living the way you desire to. It doesn't mean you don't have people around you, but you're just living the way you want to.
Getting into the topic of of independence. Do you have any specific stories or examples?
The big one for me is almost 3 years ago. Wow. I moved out of my parents' house. And I have my own condo. And I've made it accessible in a way where I could reach and have access to everything. Of course, it's, you try and do stuff and it works for a while. Then you're like, wait a minute, it won't work. So you got to change it. But that's the biggest thing for me is I moved out on my own.
Diva?
Yeah, I have a couple. Where did Danny go?
I don't know.
Then he disappeared.
Yeah, okay. Come back, Danny.
He doesn't want to talk anymore.
Doesn't want to talk to us.
No.
Anyway, well, I have a couple of examples. One of them is quite major. When I was 18, on my 18th birthday, to be exact, I chose to become a wheelchair user more than a walker. Before my 18th birthday, it was the other way around. So I was constantly walking, basically, and using my wheelchair very seldom, which didn't have great effect on my body at all because I was in pain constantly. So on my 18th birthday, when I came to the realization that from this day on, I decide, I went, yeah, wheelchair will be good. And I knew it would be hard for a lot of reasons, but the pushback I got from the people around me was crushing, actually.
Sorry.
The pushback I got from the people around me, that they basically didn't approve of it, because in their minds that meant that if I become a wheelchair user, my life will be over. Yeah.
In what way?
People just see me as disabled, because I was walking from a very young age till I was 18. I wouldn't say that I passed as a normal person, but not as disabled as a person in a wheelchair. If you know what I mean. There was a huge difference in people's minds, and as I said, the pushback was crushing. I had people that I thought that I could rely on telling me that if you are unwilling to walk because you're lazy, then you are mentally ill and that you need help. Yeah. So that was my first step towards independence, because rage against the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was hard, but I don't regret it. That wasn't a life to go around and to try and fit in whilst you're in that amount of pain is not worth it.
No.
Yeah. So independence.
Yeah. Yeah. And you did.
It's interesting Devo, when you mentioned rage against the power, rage against the machine, however you
Rage Against
refer
the
to it,
Machine.
because I think it's interesting because when I think about me and independence as a non-wheelchair or mobility device user, I think through the lens of learning. I was young when I was diagnosed with a learning disability, and so got extra help in school and stuff. But I didn't want any of that. I didn't want any extra help. I didn't want extra time on tests. I didn't want any extra stuff. Because again, it was seen as like, oh, Danny's going to that room for like extra, and as a young person, regardless of what age you are, but as a young person, when those years are like so formative, that stuff sticks to you, and how as a young person, people start to look at you. It starts to become like, oh, Danny, needs extra help or this or that. So to kind of rebel, I just said, I'm not taking any of it. And I kind of lived in that mindset for a while. Not, even into university. I think it wasn't until like my second year university where I started to take advantage of the fact that they let me use a computer. I'm a great typer. I'm not good at writing. Still to date, people ask me if like I've written something with a pen or pencil. People will still ask me, "Did you write that with your wrong hand?" Because it looks really messy and really gross and really I look like I'm in pain when I'm writing for whatever reason. I don't fully understand it, but to I guess for signals from my brain to go to my hands, it just happens so much slower when it comes to writing, and even like when it comes to playing piano and stuff. Like I've gotten really good at faking playing, and I've turned practice and that persistence into like building up those skill sets. But it's taken like a lot of time, a lot of investment and time, and building those skills and functions up. But when it came to school, I think for me, I was always trying to find that independence through the lens of not taking advantage of all those little things that I knew I could take advantage of, but I didn't want any of it. I didn't want any of it because, we so often live in this space where asking for help is seen as a weakness. And I as a young kid, I didn't want to be weaker. But, you grow up and you start to realize asking for help is not a weakness. It's actually really smart to be able to say, listen, I know what I can do, but, now I need help. It's interesting to reflect back on some of those things because not often, but I sometimes reflect on like how much better could I have done on that test or that exam or whatever if I just like took a moment to remove myself from my own pride or my own stuff. That's not my stuff. It's, perpetuated by societal norms and all those things. But if I could only take a moment to like remove myself from all that stuff and just, look for help a little bit more versus I don't know, fight the power, fight the man, or whatever. Anyways, that's how I think about independence because I think I was really, really trying to through the lens of learning, just be good on my own and not need all the extra stuff. Yeah.
I so relate to all the you guys are saying this not only feeling, but from a society point to be independent. To be independent is to do all the things yourself, like be as normal, and be like everyone else. If you are outside this stupid box,
Yep.
then I don't know why.
Yeah.
But the thing is that outlook on independence, that you should be able to do everything alone, is actually a lie, because we are supposed to do things together.
Mhm.
We're supposed to help each other.
Yeah.
That's why we create groups. That's what
Yeah.
families and friends are for. Like,
Yeah.
no one is an island.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
That's just insane and very sad.
Yeah. Like people say to me, well, who helps you every day? And I'm like, I don't need help every day. But when I do need help, I call somebody and be like, look, can you come help me do this? So part of being independent is doing stuff yourself. But like you said, Eva, as well as leaning on people when you need something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not see asking for help as a weakness,
Yeah.
but as a actual strength.
It
Because
takes a lot.
said, no one is an island, and we're created to be in groups and connect with people and
Help each other,
Yeah.
yes,
support each other. That's what we are evolved to do. And
Mhm.
I was ashamed to ask for help, to the point where when in 2010 I got personal assistance, and I was in a state where I couldn't ask for a glass of water without shaking and crying.
oh.
Wow.
And how and how did you evolve through that through that process? How did you, I don't know what to say, but come
Got out of the shithole.
yeah.
Um, I needed to learn how to trust myself first and foremost, that to realize that it's not a weakness to ask for help. I can still evolve and do things on my own, but there are certain things that I can do, or certain things that are harder for me to do, depending on the day, depending on how I slept, what I've been doing before. My body works a certain way, and my life is going to be affected by that. And I had amazing people working for me that would just try to calm me down and assure me that it was okay, that it's going to take time. And yeah, that it's okay. But that was
It's okay.
that was really hard. Yep. But people helped me. Kind, understanding, patient people.
Which is another testament to
Yeah.
us as human beings not being, despite of living with disability or not, to have people in your corner that actually see
Yeah.
the person that you are, not the physical ability of your legs or even your brain, or anything.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We need each other. The end.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be ashamed of that.
No.
We should embrace it instead.
Yeah.
I think I've said it to our group before, but I spent so much time over the course of the years through the lens of A Song of City, reflecting and questioning, like, is this something that should continue to exist? Like, why does it exist? How does it exist? What's its purpose? So on and so forth. And I spent so much time in my own brain, and it took so long to start to step out of my own brain to actually have conversations like this. And it's wild, because I've taken a lot of time to reflect on how much we have grown since I stopped trying to solve the equation on my own. And again, a testament to I'm still learning how to balance asking for help with independence. Because I will also forever remember the first time I took a song into a couple of people who are, and this is not through the lens of SB&H or disability, but through the lens of songwriting. I took this song into a couple of a producer and engineer who that's what they do for a living. They write songs for and with successful people. That's what they do. And their question from me, the first question was, what kind of role do you want us to have in your song? And I said, I have this song, I love this song, but like, I just want to write a great song. So if there's things that you hear that I didn't, I missed, this isn't about me. This isn't about my own ego for the song to be a certain way. No, I just want to write a great, meaningful, purposeful song. That's it. And it was so funny because they picked it apart so hard to the point where I will remember sitting at the piano that day and we're picking it apart, and I started to crawl into my own brain and think oh my God, what is happening here? Oh my God. But then I pulled myself back out and I was like, I wanted this. I want this. I wanted this. I want this. Several years later, I took a young person that I work with into them, and they barely touched the song. They complimented, how well it was written. And I took that as a moment of shoot, I seeked help. I was challenged a little bit by that help, but that help has made me so much stronger and has made me better at being independent, but also made me a much better collaborator, which is so cool, because that, it's just so cool. but it's so interesting to see those things and how like that balance of independence and collaboration can be so fine, but it's just like so, you know, it's so important and so relevant through the lens of SB&H disability, or just in general, period, in terms of like building your own skills and, you know, knowing when to ask for help and you know, seeking help, seeking support, and that, you know, seeking those things being a strength and not a weakness. A strength for sure.
Yeah. And I think too, through collaboration, you find your voice, right? Like in certain situations where you have people that support you and want the best for you, you've learned to speak up for yourself. Because when we're younger, we're almost afraid to speak up for ourselves or don't know how to speak up for ourselves. So when you do that, you find your voice. I'm still learning to find my voice. Certain situations, I'm so good at it. In other situations, I just sit there like, and I don't say anything, but I beat myself up after. And I shouldn't do that, because I'm like, no, if I don't agree with something right now, I gotta say it.
Which is a process.
Yeah. It's a learning process.
Yeah.
Just like the other day, I wasn't happy with something and I sent an email and I was like, you know what? I literally said, it took my independence and dignity away and that should not happen. So we'll see what response I get.
It's good that you did it though.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's life is a continuous process of finding your strength and like this is enough, and you speak up for yourself, and as adults, that's our right, and
definitely our responsibility.
Mhm.
yes,
No one is going to do it for me, and I don't want them to. I remember when I got my first apartment, I wasn't living alone, but my mother had different opinions about how a household should look like, I guess. So she would call me and invite herself for coffee. And after 5 minutes, she would start to clean my kitchen. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you to do that. I didn't ask you to do that. What are you doing? That's not okay. And then we will have a huge fight because she just wanted to help. Like, if you want to help me, ask if I want help. If I don't, then respect my no.
Mhm. Yeah.
it looks like you can relate.
Yeah.
Relate.
Yeah, I met somebody whose mom, every time I dropped something, they would go get it without asking. To the point, I would like rush to go get it. And I'd be like, no, I'm good. Thank you. But I'm good. And they wouldn't even ask me. So I'm like, no, I can do it. Just ask me. Like, yeah, so I can relate to that.
The chicken race towards independence.
Right? And it's just like, you shouldn't have to race to it. But I felt like I had to. Because I'm like, you're not asking me, do I need something?
Yeah.
Just ask me. It gives me the power to say yes or no.
Yes. How long of a time did it take for that pattern to change for you or
That
the
person?
person?
I don't see that person anymore, so I don't know if they're still like that.
Okay.
I'm hoping not, but but now I'm really good at, people, like I'm surrounded by people who will ask me first. They don't assume I need help. But yeah, so I'm hoping through the years this person has changed their ways, but I'm not sure. We can hope, right?
For me, it was when I kicked her out. I literally kicked her out and didn't speak to her for a month for breaking my boundaries.
Did
Wow.
you do that the first time it happened, or did it take?
No, it was a process. It was a process. It was really hard in the beginning. But after a while, it's like, for fuck's sake, no.
Yeah.
This is my home. And it's like, one of the things was that there was a lot of cat fur on my couch, which it's normal when you have 2 cats.
Uh-huh.
It's like, if I clean it one day, it's going to look the same next day,
Oh yeah.
because cats and fur.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Yep. I get it.
And then she suggested that I should get rid of the cats, and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting rid of you.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, that's
No,
what I was gonna say.
now everything is okay. I am treated as an adult,
There you go. Yeah.
and my no is accepted. But that took like
Mm,
8 years. I'm not kidding. 8 years.
mm, mm.
Can I ask you, do you have siblings?
I do. I went no contact with them about 7 years ago.
Are they older or younger?
They're older. I'm the youngest, and a lot of boundaries were broken,
Yeah.
and I had enough.
Yeah.
But I'm in very good contact with my mom now.
Good.
Yeah.
Can I actually ask, as a non-wheelchair user, a non-mobility device user in any way, shape, or form, I've had lots of different conversations with friends in our community and just like the community of disability in general, which I think kind of fits in with the idea of like the assumption of help. And I'm wondering if this has happened to any of you and how you maybe managed it. But like when somebody just assumes that you'd want help with your wheelchair.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to meet.
Diva, what is that?
That is my rage coming out. No, some people assume,
Yeah.
and I guess that's normal.
Yeah.
No, as wheelchair users or as people with disability, we are in some contexts seen as the weaker kind,
Right.
which in some cases is correct.
Mhm.
Some people can't manage on their own, but the automatic assumption is quite problematic, because, and it's problematic when the person that assumes that I need help doesn't ask if I actually need it, or
Mhm.
just trying to do something above my head without my consent.
Mhm.
Like people used to shove me into a bus that I was trying to get on without asking if I need help to get on. If they grab my chair in a specific way, they can break it, which has happened. People have broken my chair.
Wow.
And if that chair breaks, I'm going to have a problem.
Mhm.
And it's going to be a huge one, because it's not like I can pull a new one out of my throat.
You can't? What?
No.
No,
Why?
I tried. I really tried. It doesn't work.
Come on, Diva.
Magic.
I know. I thought I could do wonders, but no, I'm just a regular human.
Oh,
I've literally had people come up to me on the street and start pushing me.
Mm.
And it's like, no, you need to ask first.
Yeah.
Usually, this is like finding your voice thing. Usually I'm good. I'm like, thank you, but I'm okay. A few months ago, I was coming from my condo to the mall, which is like 5-minute walk. A gentleman, I'm using that term loosely, came up behind me and started pushing. And I'm not proud of it. Like later, I was mad at myself. My voice like disappeared. I just kind of sat there like, I tried to tell him I'm okay, but one, he wouldn't listen. Two, I didn't keep persisting. So I literally like let him do it. And I was like, no, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Like, and it freaked me out. It wasn't a long walk, that doesn't matter. But I was like, no, that is like, you wouldn't go up to somebody on the street, help them walk.
No.
Or take their bags.
Right? So why do you feel it's okay
Yeah.
just to come and push me? Like,
yeah. Just because you feel or think that it's hard,
yeah,
and that you wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to, or have the strength to, like,
Which you know nothing about,
no,
yeah,
first and foremost.
yeah,
because you haven't been in the situation.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's so interesting, and I ask as an able-bodied person within our community, because when I was younger, I definitely would have been that guy to just go like, yeah, I'll help you. Okay,
I would kick your ass.
but who? So I just say that because now later in life, having done lots of learning, okay, Danny, that well-intended act, who is that serving?
Yeah.
Who is that serving? Who is that intent serving? Is it serving that person, or is it serving your ability to go to sleep that night and go, you know what, I'm gonna pat myself on the back because that was a nice thing I just like imposed on somebody. And I feel like that happens a lot. And of course we're not like finger pointing in this space, but it really is just, it's definitely a learning that I've done, and I've been lucky to have friends to hold me accountable as well. But it's also taken listening as well. Like Alexis, to go back to your story, that person that wasn't even listening to you, it's like, yo, I'm telling you I'm good. So trust me, hear me. Like, I don't need your help. Go away. And I shouldn't need to say it 10 times.
No. And I said it at least 5, and then he just kept looking forward. So finally, I just resigned to the fact, okay, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have like literally put my brakes on and been like, no, stop it.
Yeah.
Move
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
On the other side of helping, that when you don't ask, have you ever been denied help? Because I have. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you
I
know-
don't know which is worse.
I don't know. I don't know either. I'm just like, okay.
Mm.
Yeah. I literally asked someone to hold something for 2 seconds. And they were like, nope. And they walked away. I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
I know.
Wow.
Like, yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that that actually reminds me of a situation. I was out rolling and came across a quite big steep hill, and it was I don't know the correct word here, but like a tracking trail, like in the woods. So there was a lot of people like moving and biking. So and uh, 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 one guy actually asked me, "Do you need help?" And I thought I said, and I heard myself say, "Yes, please."
Mm.
But he didn't hear that.
Hmm.
He went, "Okay," and then
Oh my God.
I'm like, "But I do need help.
You're like, excuse me?
I
Yeah.
actually need help."
Oh my God. I'm here. Come back.
I didn't do that, but I wanted, because it was so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did somebody eventually help you?
Huh? Sorry.
Did somebody eventually help you?
The last like 2 meters or something.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And that is also a strange phenomenon that I come across pretty regularly. That I'm out and I am up a hill or like some, I don't know, climb. It might not even be steep, but it's like in the beginning, no one is there, just people walking by, and then like for the last meter, then people then someone comes up saying, "Do you need help? It looks hard." And I'm like thinking to myself, it was hard at the beginning, almost up. Now I don't need help. Of course, I don't say that. I just go, "No, I'm okay. Thank you."
Mhm.
That's anybody.
That's like me. That's like me when it comes to doing chores around the house. I show up for like the last 5 minutes and say, "Do you want help?" And whoever's doing the chores like, "No, it's okay. I'm almost done." And I'll pull the, I had to go to the washroom. I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding. I
Did
do
you do
chores.
that on purpose?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Kind of.
Do you have anything to Anything to add, Diva?
Do I have anything to add?
Do you have any examples of your own?
I got into a lot of fights.
Do you want to share?
Uh,
Like debates or fist fights?
No, just slaps in this case.
Wow.
But the fist fights we can talk about somewhere else. Yeah. Well, the people that don't ask if I need help, sometimes, as you, Alexis and Ina said, just push you. And I have this thing, which I understood that isn't just my thing. It's not like this is diva thing. It happens to a lot of people. When someone comes behind me and starts doing something to me, I get really aggressive. So people have been slapped, which sucks.
Yeah.
It really, really sucks because it just takes, it doesn't take a lot to ask, do you need help?
No.
It doesn't take a lot to ask, how do you want me to help you?
Yeah.
You don't force yourself on people.
Yeah. And be
Actually,
present enough
Yeah,
to actually listen and act on the answer that you get.
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Daniel.
No, I was just gonna say to kind of go off what you had mentioned there, Diva, with like somebody being behind you. I think it's so interesting because like whether we're talking again SB&H, disability at large, or just like in general, I would find it strange if somebody was just like standing behind me. I would like turn around or move or like I would find it like eerie and strange and so I can understand why if somebody's just like behind you and just kind of there or just kind of like pushing themselves on you like that deserves a slap. Or like
Thank
what
you.
are you
Thank
like
you.
what are you doing like what are that's strange regardless
Yeah.
if I use a wheelchair or not. That's strange. So what are you doing?
Yeah, and I really felt bad about that for many years
Yeah.
because then I am the bad guy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Could you
I had people screaming at me that I was an ungrateful bitch
Wow. Wow.
That's not cool.
without them asking me if I need help,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
doing things for me. Then I am the ungrateful bitch.
Yeah.
So you didn't ask if I need help. You
Yeah.
scared me because you came behind me and I'm wrong.
so strange.
Excuse me? Where's the logic?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't care now, but I did. Once I did. I really, really cared, and I really thought it was my fault.
We should create bumper stickers for our wheelchairs saying, if I need help, I will ask you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We shouldn't be able. We shouldn't have to do that, but
No.
that sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah, we should.
I was thinking when in one of my darkest moments, I was thinking about getting like some kind of electrical device.
Oh,
Put
okay.
it on the back of my wheelchair so everyone that touches it gets electrocuted.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
there you go.
Oh my God.
That would be an.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
I don't want to go
God.
to jail.
Yeah.
I've also had people watch me struggle too, without even asking anything, and I'm like, so somebody says, "Well, what? Why?" Oh, my mom. And she goes, "Why don't you say something to them?" I'm like, "Cause I don't know what reaction I'm gonna get."
Yeah.
So it's also like finding your voice, but it's also knowing when to shut it.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yeah, I saw someone, I was going into a Tim Hortons for a coffee. The wheelchair button didn't work. So I struggled to open the door and the guy was standing there. And then I came out with a coffee. So I was struggling even more. He was still there and he didn't do anything, say anything.
Yeah.
So I just kind of rolled by and was like, shut up. Like, yeah. So it takes all kinds of people.
Yeah.
So we're getting close to the ending of this conversation. Do you have any last thoughts or something you want to share and to anyone watching that you haven't already said?
No, I don't think so.
Happy holidays.
Yes.
It's Christmas soon.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Anything to add?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on our topic today?
I think this conversation is so interesting in terms of like collaboration and independence and like the intersectionality of both those things, but then the individuality of both those things as well. And then as well, I think for myself within as an able-bodied person living with hydrocephalus and spina bifida occulta within this conversation, I think it's so interesting because there's like the educational component to like how our experiences can reach somebody and hopefully like help give some new perspective. But then there's also like through the lens of collaboration, there's also the responsibility of people to continue to learn, through different experiences, and through different experiences that they maybe don't understand or are seeking just understanding towards. I think it's very interesting, in terms of if any of that makes sense. Anyways, there's so much learning still to do and to figure out how. Again, I will come back to myself because I feel like I was probably that young dude who was like, I just want to help. I want to do good. I want to, I mean well, and I just, but then it's like, okay, cool. But Dan, like, who is that serving? Like that's a really nice thing you did, but who is that serving, and how could you maybe approach that well-intended act better? Because it's not like you did something wrong, but there's different ways that you could approach it where you're gonna do it even better and better serve that friend of yours or that human being or whatnot. Anyways, I don't know if any of that makes sense, but I think there's so much learning still to do, and I love that even within this group we've got just so many different lived experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great last words, Danny.
Yeah.
With that, I want to thank the three of you for always having such great things to say, and for anyone watching, thank you for joining, and remember to share and comment below. We really want you to be a part of conversation. It's not just a conversation between the four of us.
Yeah.
We want this to be a start of a bigger conversation. So let us know what you think.
Ask questions.
Ask questions. Yes. Yeah. Subscribe, and I guess,
And suggestions for different conversations too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And I guess happy holidays and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. And our next community conversations will be in January 2022.
Yes.
22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
22.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.